The Four Horsemen and Dungeon of Doom have determined total elimination imperative for Hulkamania and Macho Madness. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage versus virtually the world in a Doomsday cage match. The Road Warriors, determined to re-establish tag team supremacy with the other half of Sting's tag team championship, Lex Luger, is involved with the Horsemen and the Dungeon of Doom's obsession with Hogan and Savage, leaving Sting with Booker T, who himself wants to reclaim tag team glory with his brother Stevie Ray, aligns to face his Hawk and Animal in a street fight. Diamond Dallas Page has lost money, his woman, and a title. What's left? Now known as the Booty Babe, Kimberly stands beside the Booty Man, against Page, searching to reclaim what's left for him. Conan defends the U.S. Championship. Man against Woman, and Medusa versus Colonel Robert Parker, plus the Giant and Lord Steven Regal. What happens at WCW Uncensored 96? The event opens with a match for the United States Championship between champion Conan and Eddie Guerrero. Eddie and Conan engage in a competitive wrestling match, featuring various holds, reversals, and takedowns. Their tensions rise, resulting in slaps and crowd chants. They exchange arm drags and dives, with Eddie hitting a slingshot senton and Conan countering with a splash mountain bomb. After more back and forth, Conan wins when a head collision leads him to cover Eddie. Post-match, Conan attempts to raise Eddie's hand, but Eddie shoves him away, upset about the low blow. Lord Steven Regal takes on the Belfast Bruiser next. The two men start fighting immediately, exchanging hard hits and aggressive moves. Regal attempts to slow things down with holds, but the fighting continues on the floor. There are more strikes and brawling near the ring. Regal gains the upper hand with a low blow, after which he applies holds and presses his knee into Bruiser's face. Their fight spills onto the floor again, where Bruiser hits Regal hard enough to break his nose. They continue brawling back and forth, but then the Blue Bloods show up to attack Finlay, resulting in a disqualification. David Taylor and Robert Eaton keep attacking Finlay after the match, and Regal slaps him before the Blue Bloods leave. Bruiser chases them down, catching up quickly, and they continue fighting in the entryway. The third match is an intergender encounter between Medusa and Colonel Robert Parker. Parker and Medusa start by pushing each other before Parker poses. Medusa quickly responds with an arm drag. Parker tries an airplane spin, but Medusa counters with a sunset flip and a slam, exciting the crowd. Parker gets help from Dick Slater, but the Colonel returns and tries a choke toss, missing an elbow drop. Medusa hits diving dropkicks and a German suplex. However, Slater trips her, allowing Parker to pin Medusa for the win. Diamond Dallas Page takes on the Booty Man in the next contest. DDP argues with fans and has trouble in the match against Booty Man, who uses headlocks and arm moves. DDP fights back but gets distracted by Kimberly, who arrives. They have a brief confrontation, leading to Booty Man winning the match. Afterward, Booty Man kisses Kimberly, surprising her, and they leave together while DDP remains frustrated. Next, the Giant takes on Loch Ness. Both men exchange punches, chokes, and knees. Loch Ness corners the Giant, but the Giant turns it around and tries to splash Loch Ness, who dodges, causing the Giant to fall out of the ring accidentally. Loch Ness brings the Giant back inside and hits a clothesline, followed by 2 elbow drops, but misses the second one. The Giant then kicks Loch Ness down and performs a leg drop to win the match. After his win, the Giant turns to the camera to let Hulk Hogan know that was for him, and he's coming for Ric Flair next. The Road Warriors take on Sting and Booker T in a street fight next. They begin fighting in the aisle and often falling to the floor. Animal and Sting take turns hurting each other on the post. Sting and Booker give Hawk pile drivers, but he reacts strongly. Hawk responds with a power bomb and submissions. Sting leaves a few times for weapons, grabbing a chair and 2 brooms. The fight moves around the Doomsday cage, then back to the ring. Sting and Booker gain the upper hand with weapons after Animal hits the post. Eventually, Booker leaves the ring as Animal follows him and accidentally knocks into Luger, who then attacks Animal. Luger, Stevie Ray, and Jimmy Hart handcuff Animal to a post. Booker returns but misses a move. Stevie hits Hawk with a chair, and Booker gets the win. After the match, Stevie attacks Animal, wanting his titles back, while Sting celebrates with a broom. The Doomsday Cage match is the main event of Uncensored 96. In a chaotic wrestling match, 4 competitors throw punches and chops. The Horsemen gain an edge by using low blows, then Ric Flair and Arn Anderson execute stereo figure 4 leg locks. Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage manage to break free and use powder to escape into a higher tier. With the door to the next section open, both teams engage in a fierce fight, using a chain as a weapon. Hogan locks the door to prevent the Faces of Fear from entering. He battles the Taskmaster on a scaffold, threatening him before the fight spills out onto the floor where both teams use chairs and microphones. The Mega Powers take control, but Z-Gangsta and Solution arrive, capturing Hogan and Savage and launching their own attack with heavy blows and chokes. The situation worsens when Flair and Anderson join in, delivering knees to Hogan. However, the Bootyman intervenes, providing frying pans to the Mega Powers, who then use more powder to attack their foes. Just as they seem to dominate the match, Lex Luger shows up with a loaded glove. Flair tries to hold Savage for a punch, but Savage moves, causing Luger to accidentally hit Flair instead. As the Mega Powers prepare to leave, Savage recalls that a pinfall is necessary for victory and covers Flair for the win. World Championship Wrestling introduced a cruiserweight division with a championship, first competed for, in a tournament in New Japan Wrestling. Shinjiro Otani defeated Wild Pegasus, Chris Benoit, in the tournament final and was subsequently defeated by Dean Malenko on an episode of WCW Worldwide. After Uncensored, the Giant would go on to defeat Ric Flair for the World Heavyweight Championship the following month on Nitro, while the relationship between Sting and Lex Luger remained intact, despite sharing its ups and downs. Even without a world championship, Hulk Hogan and Randy Savage have separated themselves from all others with this feat, as Savage and Flair would continue their nearly year-long feud. However, with the hearts and loyalty of many lying within what's not always been within their comfort zone, but within what they've come to respect, and even love, Hulkamania began to move into an unforeseen direction, and once again, the course of professional wrestling history would be forever altered.